a great group of law enforcement professionals, and I just want to, it bears repeating, the team members I talked to, they called what they did a group effort. They said they were simply in the right place at the right time, doing what they were trained to do. One note about the MBTA officer who was shot during the chase last week, we understand he's still in serious condition. There is a fund set up to help him. It's OfficerRichardDonahue.com. OfficerRichardDonahue.com. Also on our webpage, ac360.com, in case you missed it. Just to add tonight, the implications of the breaking news that the bombing suspect is cooperating with law enforcement to some degree. What it says about his medical condition, Dr. Sanjay Gupta is going to join me with that, along with one of the doctors who will treat both suspects. And later, a remarkable young woman I really want you to meet and hear from. She's facing the loss of her lower leg. Her leg was amputated below the knee. She doesn't have a left foot anymore. She's a dance instructor, a dance teacher. And she vows tonight she will dance once again. We'll be right back.
On the next Anthony Bourdain Parts Unknown, Koreatown, Los Angeles. Get ready.
It's extraordinarily beautiful and delicious.
Get curious.
Is there an AK Pinata?
Get real.
That's where the good stuff is. Whoa, awesome.
Koreatown, a melting pot of flavors and ideas as unique as the people that live here.
Mysterious and wonderful and interesting stuff.
Koreatown, Los Angeles. On the next Anthony Bourdain Parts Unknown, only on CNN. Emergency service to a unique experience. See why this is an airport that no one wants to leave. Plus, see how Singapore Airlines creates its iconic Singapore Girl. And get a taste of the good life. First class food with first class wine. The Gateway on CNN. In association with Russian Railways.
Courageous. Raw. Reporters work all year long to bring you the world's most important stories from their perspective as they happen. Now it's your turn to tell them which stories impacted you the most. The third annual CNN iReport Awards. Go to CNNiReportAwards.com. Cast your vote now through May 6th.
Join John Defterios for Global Exchange. Only on CNN.
Personal. Raw. Provocative. iReporters work all year long to bring you the world's most important stories. Now it's your turn to tell them which stories impact you the most. Annual CNN iReport Awards. Cast your vote now through May 6th.
Well, as we reported earlier, the Boston bombing suspect was said to be mentally competent, alert, and lucid during a brief hearing today in his hospital room. We know that he was able to speak at least one word. His injuries include multiple gunshot wounds, we're told. When he arrived at Beth Israel Deaconess on Friday, his condition was listed as serious. Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. Sanjay Gupta joins me now. Sanjay, how serious is do we know how serious the wounds are?
We don't know for sure. What we can say, though, is that, certainly at the time that he was captured, he was standing. You saw the photos of that, and then he was actually able to follow commands, lift his shirt up. He had an injury to the neck. That's been something that we've heard a few times from officials who have been helping treat him and doctors in the hospital. And in that situation, one of the things that's so important is actually being able to protect the airway, making sure the airway doesn't close off. So I just want to show you quickly, Anderson, this is the type of tube that we've been talking so much about. This isn't the type of tube that actually goes into the mouth, but rather the type of tube that would be placed directly into the neck over here, and that would allow his airway to stay open. But what's important about this is that oftentimes it's not as uncomfortable as the type of tube that goes into the mouth, so the sedation that's necessary isn't as high. So someone can be more awake, more alert, which feeds off some of the reporting Jake Tapper's been doing about how communicative he has been.
Is it common in hospitals to kind of lower sedation so that a patient can actually respond to law enforcement?
Yeah, there's lots of reasons
Kristala!
you will lower sedation.
Ito yung stino!
Medically speaking, you do it so that you can get a good exam on somebody and make sure that they're still neurologically doing well. But again, with this sort of operation, it's not the sort of sedation that puts one to sleep as much as it is pain medications, for example, for the operation that he had and these other injuries that he sustained. So it's more like, think of it like pain pills as opposed to sedatives that put you actually to sleep.
All right, I want to bring in Dr. David Schoenfeld, who works at Beth Israel Deaconess. He was part of the team that actually treated both bombing suspects. I appreciate you being with us. I know it's been an exhausting 24-week period for you. Can you kind of describe, I know there's a lot of HIPAA laws, and obviously you're not going to be able to talk about details about the conditions of both these suspects. Can you just talk about the situation in the emergency room when each one came in?
Yeah, so on the first, I guess it was Thursday into Friday morning, business as usual, I guess, following what happened on Monday. We had a lot of patients and heard the gun battle and the explosions going off in Watertown.
You actually heard it?
Yeah, I live in Watertown and saw the police coming into Watertown and then heard the gunshots and explosions. And when I heard that, I had earlier been watching the news reports of the MIT officer who was killed and knew when I heard it that
Si
this
Magnus
was
na ilagay mo
pretty
dito.
serious given the volume of gunfire and explosions. I called the department to let them know what was going on because I was worried about all those officers and other people in the area with all the gunfire and explosions that they do a lot of patients. And the Longwood area is the closest level 1 trauma centers to Watertown. And so I knew that if there were patients, serious trauma patients coming out of the scene, they'd be coming to the hospital. So the folks in our department did a fantastic job preparing the emergency department for any number of trauma patients that were going to be coming in. So by the time I got there, the trauma bays were staffed and ready. The teams were divided up. We had additional staff coming in. The ORs were ramping up. The whole hospital was ramping up. It was very impressive to see my coworkers who had been involved, a lot of whom had been involved in Monday's events, to see them at work, getting geared up to potentially do it again.
I know you can't talk specifically about what happened, but someone who has, in this case, multiple gunshot wounds are talking about Thursday night, Friday morning, and got essentially, it sounds like run over by a car. What is the general, what is it like for treating a patient like that?
So, anytime you have a serious trauma patient come in, the team as a whole is very focused on assessing and treating immediate life threats and doing everything we can to resuscitate the patient. In general terms, the types of things that you would do for patients are make sure that their airway is secured with either a breathing tube or the device you were showing, making sure that they're ventilating and breathing effectively, putting in chest tubes, giving them blood. In order to make sure that they haven't bled to death, and ultimately, sort of in a traumatic arrest situation, one of the last things you would do is something called a thoracotomy, where you open the chest and access the heart and make sure there isn't blood collecting around the heart, preventing it from pumping, and then if there's a direct injury to the heart, you would repair that. And so those are sort of the different things that can be done in a traumatic cardiac arrest resuscitation.
Well, as I said, it's been an incredibly difficult week for everybody, and I appreciate all your efforts, and I appreciate you being with us tonight. Thank you.
And I really have to just say that it's been been very impressive to see all of the folks, the first responders, the off-duty healthcare professionals, the civilians on Monday who rushed in and really made a lot of difference to save a lot of lives. And I'm proud to live in a city of heroes with all of the police, the fire, the healthcare, the civilians, everybody.
Si iPad!
Making what happened, the miracle that happened as far as saving so many. As tragic as it was to lose
iPad yun.
3 lives on Monday. So many people pitching in
iPad!
to save so many. It's really amazing. I'm privileged to be part of the Boston community.
Appreciate you being with us on Jay's World. Thank you very much. A lot ahead. Stay tuned. One of the Boston bombing survivors, a young woman, a dance instructor, describes what it's like to come out of surgery and be told that they couldn't save her foot. In fact, her leg had been cut off below the knee, She promises she will dance again. She's got a remarkable attitude. She will inspire you ahead tonight.
People in over 150 countries enjoy the goodness of Thai home mommy rice. Nourished by nature and cultivated by hand. This fragrant rice uses modern technology and undergoes strict quality control processes to achieve its qualities. To always enjoy authentic Thai home mommy rice. Look for certification.
Innovators, influencers, they've reached the top and are today's leading women, inspiring individuals sharing their insights on CNN. This month, international superstar Beyonce and Facebook's COO, Sheryl Sandberg, show what it takes to not just be a survivor, but a top achiever in the business world. Leading Women, Wednesday on CNN, in association with Media.
This is being first on the scene. And leaving last.
1.5-year-old Abdul Ghani squeezes my hand tightly.
This is staying curious.